Good morning, traders. John from Crypto Candlestick Trading. Just wanted to do a quick update on Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Then I'm going to go through quite a few of the altcoins on the daily chart and a few on the 4-hour chart. At the moment, things are looking pretty negative, and you can see here that, like this here, if this closes for the second time below the 50, that's very negative. See here, it seems to be spending a bit more time under the 50, which is quite negative as well. But we do have an engulfing pattern. We're going to look at what it actually is, not what's happening. What it actually is we do have an engulfing pattern that's happened off the 50. At this stage, this candle is still live. It's not finished yet. When it closes, then that'll tell us the true result of what's really going on. So looking at the daily, we can see that the daily is looking quite quite negative, really. We can't really take away from that. It's certainly quite negative. But the only thing is, it's closed on the 200 or closing, about to close on the 200 or near the 200, very close to it. I think it will just, if it closes where it is now, it'll be just under the 200, depending on which platform you're on too. So here we can see that we had quite a bit of, congestion and sort of trading and swapping hands of money, just the shares were distributed and reaccumulated and stuff like that. And it seems like that sort of thing's happening here. But we can see that there's good accumulation happening here, but there's also distribution now that's coming into the play. But this is the daily chart. We'll have a look and we'll wait and see what how it unfolds from here. If we get a close by the 200 though, that's going to be pretty negative for me. But the first point of support that we're going to get to is around about 40,000. So anyway, going through these on the daily chart, let's have a look. So as we know, looking at these charts, when we come up, so the 50, if we're the big money, if we're trading above the 50, big money sees it as a positive, we're going to be trading long. If we trade below the 50, big money sees it as a negative, we're going to be trading short. So as we can see what's happened here, I'll just give it my drawings and just open it up a little bit more, and we'll have a closer look as to what's happening here. So we can see we've kind of come down, broken through, and when we break through the major moving average and we pull back, this is around about the time where big money is accumulating for a big decline. And we can see there wasn't much accumulation here, and so it took off and went up a fair bit from there. And well, it went up a decent amount from there. So closing below here, now it's closed above the 50. Had another go, which is, so now it's looking pretty good, yeah, but the volume's not there though. And then we've had an engulfing candle above the 50, and now look what's happened last night, bang. And so this all happened after I went to bed last night. I could see a few negatives. I went short on one last night, Avalanche, but it didn't perform very well. We'll go through that one in a minute. But what has happened here on the daily chart on Decentraland? It's tried to live above the 50, but it's had an engulfing reversal, and now it's closed below the 50, the 9, and the 20. So that's not looking very good. That's the sort of thing we look for a breakout going in the other direction. And so here we have a second test of the 50. This is on Shiba. So looking at Shiba now, we come down, tested the 50, come down, tested the 50 again, and we've got a big engulfing that's bounced off the 50, closed below the 9. That's telling me a story, and this is the sort of thing that we look for in our training to go in that direction of the trend that it is right now. So Shiba looking pretty negative. Now have a look at this on Engine. So I'll just get rid of these drawings again. So here we've kind of come up, then down through the 50, then up, tried above the 50, and look at this. We've got an engulfing above the 50, and straight away we've got it's gapped down and open and traded lower. So now we've traded below, opened and closed below the 50 and the 9. This is telling a very negative story. So even that's the 276 now, 278 now, the first target for this area, would be around about the 227 mark. So we've got 50 cents. That's what, a 20% decline. If you, if we were to go down to the 4-hour chart and find a better entry on that, with the stops up here, you can make some pretty good coin on it if you're going to go short. Now have a look at this one here. So here on DOT, I'm looking at, well, depending on how strong the close is here, but we can see that, it's gone up here. We've got a harami, which basically means that the buying has stopped. This is a reversal shooting star looking kind of a thing, candle, and then it's potentially hit, come up and tested the 50, and then fallen off and had a drastic sell off in that time. So anyway, but now we've closed below the 200 and the 9, and we've rested on the 20. So it's still not looking very good. I got out of a lot of these plays last night. I'd set stops, and so Doge was one of the ones that I got out of last night. It's showing promise, and it's still really, when we look at it, if we were to grab this line here and draw this down here, we can see that it's still trending. It hasn't broken it yet and gone down. And if I'm going to short these markets, I'm going to look for not only this that's bouncing off the 50 and heading south and closing below other moving averages, but I want it to be breaking downtrend lines as well. And there are a couple that have done that. This one here looks very good to me. I like this one as well. You know, here we are. We've tested the 50 and we're above it, and it still looks like we're trying to make big moves at the 50. But here it looks like we've got a tweezer top. Nothing could close above the 50. We've got an engulfing pattern at the 50. For me, it just looks like downhill from here. We've got increased volume on that side as well. Stochastics are overbought. This one here I do like here for a short. I'm just going to mark that in something so that I can kind of come back to that and know where I'm at. Okay, so let's have a look at Luna. Luna was another one that I thought, it seemed pretty high, and I don't know. To me, it just seems out of whack. We've got an increase in selling volume. We've got an engulfing at the top that's come down, increase in selling volume. Now we're closed below the 9. So we've got 3 negatives there already, increasing, and we've got stochastics overbought. And also we've got a decline in volume at the top, which basically means that less people are getting rid of the shares. There's not enough to buy. And so as soon as that happens, the market declines. Here's the one that I went short on last night. And as you can see, it didn't work out as well as what the others did. I'm still in profit from it, but I was expecting a better result from it. And the only reason was I was just starting to see a few shorter term time frames showing negative signs, so I went short on that one. Now look at this one here. So this one here, this is so we've come out, closed above the moving averages. Now with one foul swoop, we've closed below all the moving averages, and we're at this stage here. So if this opens and trades green, say for example, and then all of a sudden, and so it does that, and then what I'm going to be looking for is the green to red move. I want to know, I'll be setting an alert the second it turns red, so I'll be able to come back to that and have a look at it and see at what time of the day it happens, and if it looks bad enough, then I can enter the trade and start going short on that. But this one here, here it's kind of above there and it's gone down. Even though it's pulled back, it's spent about 2 weeks in the pullback, and then kind of it did its thing eventually. And like if you were to get in down here at these prices, 586, and then it reached a low of 310. But I mean, like realistically, if it was about here or something like that, 393, $4, still it's worthwhile. This one here, check that out. Like this is perfect for a short here as well. So it's come down and it's gone up and tested. Here it didn't even go down, but it went up and tested. Look at this, it bounced perfectly on the 250, and then we open up here and close below. So today it might open and test it a little bit and then fall through. Who knows what it'll do? But so far, if you go back in history and you have a look at this kind of result here, it's the same sort of thing. It come up, it tries, and then it's got a doji engulfing to the south side, and then look what happened. Here, doji engulfing to the south side, and it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Let's just have a look and have a bit of a longer term look. And so even from here, you can see when it's under the moving averages, even if it doesn't move very much, when it does do it, it does it quite well. So and at this stage, high, low, lower high, and we're still making a higher low at this stage. We're not in a downtrend at this stage, but it does look like we've still got a little bit of short-term trading, short-side trading to happen from here. Now here's another one, Stellar Lumens. Hello. There we go. So Stellar Lumens living under the the major moving average. Now this is good. It didn't even reach it, and then on very weak volume it tried with that to get up there, and now with extra volume it's sold off. Now it's failed at the 50 and 200 and closed below the 9. That to me is saying something. So whether you're going to put stops at the swing high or something like that, wherever, but this is not something you get into to trade for the long. This is something you get into to trade for the short side. And I'm always looking for things to add to the picture to see if I can I put a trend line there. If I can put a trend line there and it's under the trend line, bouncing off the trend line, there's another thing that I can put into my toolbox of reasoning for why I'm getting into this trade. This one here. So now this one here, I just wanted to mention this one because so I've been trading this one. I made some good money on this in the last few days or week or whatever. And so it's gone from here up, touch, and I didn't even, I had this on my chart and I was looking at it. I didn't really do anything about it, which is really frustrating. So this is one of the reasons why when you go over your charts, like let's just say that the market's declined and you go back and have a look and say, oh no, have a look at what's happened here, look at my account or whatever. While the market's declining, that's the perfect time, the perfect place for you to go back and plot on your chart and say, okay, well, whereabouts did I buy this? And you say, okay, well, I bought it there. And where did I sell it? Okay, well, I sold it here and I went short. Yep, okay, cool. And then I was down the bottom here and I sold here, or down the bottom, well, I sold here and I went long here. That's around about what I did or something like that anyway. But what I didn't do, and this is one of my rules, and like I failed to see this. So we're got an uptrending line, and here it's broken the uptrending line. Now I was actually thinking positive at this stage here, thinking, well, that's a pretty good strong break at at that stage. I didn't even consider that, hey, we're trading above the uptrend line now, uptrend channel. So, there's a good chance it's going to come back and collapse. So usually what happens when this goes up through the uptrend channel and down and closes below the uptrend channel line, usually we have a big tanking. Like it'll go, quite heavily in the other direction. So, I'm not sure exactly where, like, or what sort of, that kind of looks like it makes sense to me. So whereabouts would I be expecting for this thing to go? Like it might come down here and then head up there a little bit, down here, meet the 50 and then down to there. Who knows? It might do something like that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that last one, but anyway, in any case, down, down, down. Like, so I would be expecting, as soon as this has a big push up there, all the big money's seen it. So, this got the amateur traders like me yesterday, not obeying my rules and, keep my eyes, like fully open on the game. But I went up here and I went long on this one here and I got stopped out, obviously, because it went down here. Now, I was in, asleep and, but what I would have liked to have done, if I had seen this yesterday, I would have liked to have short this straight away at the open so that I could have collected something like this, because once it's gone out of the upper trend channel and back into the showing failure of that trend channel line, then the open there negative trading is your short entry. Anyway, I'm definitely going to be looking at this for a short today, so I'll have a look at the 4-hour chart. And here's another one, just another, this is what, if you turn this chart upside down, this is what we're looking for, and engulfing, closing above the 9, the other way around. But here, this on the short side, it's the same thing, but just turned around. Same again, and same again. It's this one here, ICP. So I like this one, but have a look at this. Like, we've not only broken lower lows, but we've come back and tested that low and closed below it. This one here is a short. And short, by what I'm saying with a short, is it means you borrow money from your broker and you sell it into the marketplace, and then when it goes down, you buy it back from the marketplace and return it to your broker. Now the difference, like if you were to sell it at say $50 and buy it back at $40 and return it to your broker at $40, then you made $10 difference. So you've made what's that, 10, 25% or whatever it is, 20%. Okay, let's carry on. Here we go, another one. This is actually, I'll just expand that. So check this out. So like, I would have liked a better close on this one here, but this is on crypto.com. So even the big winners cannot just keep climbing forever and ever. That they have to have a breather. And so when they do have a breather, it's like, it's just one of those things you need to watch and trade accordingly. So okay, so here on crypto.com, we're going down, we come up, tested the 50, and then we got like a shooting star kind of a thing there, a Harami saying that the buying has stopped. And then this is the main part of it here, which I didn't even pick up because I wasn't watching this one. But crypto.com, it's gap down. So here's the close on this one here, and it's a gap down. And now from the gap down, it's closed below the 9, the 50, and resting on the 20. So this isn't really a very good, it's not looking very positive for crypto.com. Just at this stage, it's here. We're trying to find support at the 200. Bounce on the 20, but this is congestion. This is not the time to be in this market, this one here for sure. Look at this gap down on this one, hey, and closing below all the major moving averages, GRT. So this one here, I was actually looking at this one last night, but I couldn't go short on this one last night because my broker didn't offer this one in margin, so I couldn't actually trade it short. So which is quite unfortunate. But anyway, so that's what happened. It's got the trend line under the 50. Now below Looks like we're below the 20 and the 9. So this is looking very negative and a gap down after a shooting star. Yep, no good. So some of these short opportunities are really good. But one last thing I do want to mention about these short opportunities, like there's another good short, is that Bitcoin is resting on the 200. So Bitcoin hasn't broken through and fully collapsed yet. If it does, these will collapse very heavily. But at the moment, these will probably hang around here for a day or a couple of days or whatever. So here's another thing that I'm looking for. Like we've got an up, a support line there, sorry, resistance line there, and then we've come over and we've got an engulfing pattern to the south side closing below the 9, which is an entry anyway. But extra confirmation would be trading below this uptrending line here. And FLO, same again. Like let's look at that. So here we came and touched the 50, rejected. Here we went through the 50, went through the 50, rejected, couldn't live above it. Now look what happened. Here we've come, had a go, and then now we've had an engulfing and closed below the 9 and the 20. This one here, Rune, I was actually looking at this one here for short as well, for sure. So here we can see, it's come down, it's come up, it's attempted, and we've got a reversal candle there and a huge engulfing candle is closed below the 9 off major resistance. So, this is a no-brainer. For me, I am keen to get into the market and sell these things so that, but I'm not going to do it like, drastically. I'm just going to go in and put, say, 2 or 3 trades on and for the short side, and then if they perform well, I'll add to the positions or buy more and let go of those ones that aren't working or whatever. So here we are, attempted and rejected, big time rejection. The only thing is that it's still above the 50 and the 9. Look at that one. Yeah, it's I'll just get rid of my stuff there. And so here, tried the 50, now closed below major moving averages and the 9. This is not looking good. If you were to put a short here and it stops just above the high there, that's definitely doable. Well, actually, I just want to go back and have a look at what happened here. So the first time it rejected was there, and have a look what happened. Second time rejected, but this time under the major moving average. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. At this stage, if I was in it, I would be definitely getting out of it if I was in that one. This one here, try to find at the 50, rejected, and now closing below the major moving averages. Oh, sorry, well, yes. Here, look at this, beautiful attempt, and rejected. That's on one. Same again, rejection, rejection, and then bang. Yep. And I also have a look for these. Like if the 200 is close by, I don't want to trade it because then it's got the first support level it's going to hit is very close. Whereas if I was to go short here, let's just say I was to go short here at this price right now, then I could bring my stop to, let's say it's below, or let's just say it's below that red one there. I know we'll make it like so it's below that particular swing low, and then we'll bring that down to around about where we think the red might go up. So that's only 2 to 1 risk to reward. It looks like there's a lot more than that. If you were just to go the red candle, then it's going to increase it by a fair bit. So then so if it goes above that red candle now, then you've got almost 3 to 1 risk to reward, which is really what we're after. Like that's the sort of thing I'm interested in. 3 to 1. If I can't get 3 to 1, then I'm going to keep on looking around until I find something that's going to get me 3 to 1, and then half the time you can get better than that anyway. So here we are. Something like that is pretty much what I'm looking for, and in these kind of markets, who knows? It's definitely possible that we could get that. But here we can see that we've had a rejection, and then from that rejection, we've taken off. So anything can happen in this market. It's just that when this turns up, about 8 times out of 10, it heads down for a while. So that's why there's a big alert on today, and this is it. So we can just see over and over again, example after example, it's the same thing. And not much there. EOS is definitely one that I want to look at shorting. This one here. Now, this is the reason why. We're going to uptrending line. We're going to close below, trading below all the moving averages that are heading down. Engulfing. This to me is excellent. We're going to decline in buying volume. And the thing is, the reason why I like this as well is I've noticed lately that EOS is having problems. EOS has had a lot of problems. It was one of the stars of the show back in its day. But now, there's more failure with EOS and so I like this one for a short simply because it's got those fundamental things behind it as well. I've just been noticing that EOS is lacking, and so I'll be looking for a short position in that. And here we go again, Sol. Like, Sol's one of the stars of the show, but look at it. This does not look like one of the stars of the show at this stage. And where's the first target? I mean, you could get down to this area here, 155, but probably the next area is 128. Looking at the 200 somewhere around there. Yeah, this has got a long way to fall. Have a look at that run that it had, all the way from here back up to there. The real sort of thing that I'm looking for with this trade will be somewhere around here, 115. Like to get to that, or we could actually go again and go the next one, which would be that one there. So 82. This could have a long way to go. No one knows. But at that chart set up there, man, you don't want to own it. I'm telling you. It doesn't look good at all. Ada. Ada, same. Man, this just doesn't look good at all. Like the whole market across the board is just flashing warning signs. And let's go XRP last one. 20 minutes in. I really did want to make it this long, but there's this stuff has to be covered. Here rejection closed below the major moving averages. Here rejection engulfing closing below. This is on Ripple. It's on the daily chart. You get down to the 4-hour charts, you'll be able to find your entry. Okay, traders. I hope this has helped. Yep, trade the market accordingly. I've been stopped out of most of mine, and I know it doesn't feel good, but it happens. And if we're targeting a 1% loss and we're targeting a 3% gain, we can be wrong 7 times out of 10 and still break even or make more money. What we're targeting is a good result, but our losses 1% and our targets are more than our losses, and we actually want to make sure that here we can see that that big money has distributed at this area here and then declined from here. So we just need to keep our eye on the ball and do what the charts tell us to do. Okay, traders, I hope you have a good morning, and I hope you trade green. Talk to you again soon. If you've got any questions, let me know. See ya.